Our gospel text of today is taken from chapter 13 of the Gospel of John, verses 21 to 33 and verses 36 to 38. It is a scene immediately after Jesus has washed the feet of his disciples, even when they are in the midst of their meal. The fact that he gets up from table when they are in the midst of a meal and begins to wash the feet of his disciples is an indication that the gesture is not merely a gesture of service. It is not merely the gesture of a slave. It is the gesture of unconditional, of magnanimous, of eternal love. And the reason why it is a gesture of eternal love is because of what happens in today's gospel. A few verses after Jesus has explained his gesture, he sits down once again now at table, and the text of today can be seen to be divided on the one hand into the prediction of the betrayal, and on the other, the prediction of the denial. Jesus knows who is going to betray him. Jesus knows who is going to deny him. Jesus also knows that the other 10 are not going to fare as well at all. And yet, he has washed their feet. He has washed the feet of a betrayer. He has washed the feet of a denier. He has washed the feet of those who will abandon him, because his love is not barter exchange. His love is not a love which will expect that a person reciprocate that love. His love is not that the person will give him love in return. His love is given freely, and that is the gesture of the washing of the feet. And that is why in the gospel text of today, he begins to tell his disciples that he is going to be betrayed. The disciples have to know and accept responsibility. The disciples must know that Jesus himself knows that he is not going to be taken unawares, that he is aware, that he reads the signs of the times, and he knows his disciples intimately. The disciples all begin to wonder who it is, and they keep asking whether it is them. Peter turns to the beloved disciple to ask him who the betrayer is. Jesus speaks about giving the morsel dipped in the dish to the one, and he gives it to Judas and tells Judas enigmatically to do what he has to do quickly. Judas goes out, and the disciples think that Judas has gone to make preparation for the Passover, but John adds for the reader a very important phrase: it was night. It may have been night as time of the day, but John is not giving us the time of the day when he tells us it was night. He is telling us that when Judas went away from Jesus, for Judas, it was night, because Jesus is the light. So anyone who goes away from Jesus, anyone who moves away from Jesus, moves away from the light to the darkness, and Judas has gone to the darkness. Jesus then goes on, after Judas has left, to predict his denial. The Peter who is so emphatic in his support of the Lord, the Peter who says that he is going to die for the Lord, is the same Peter who will deny the Lord when the time to stand up comes. Peter is unable to stand up because of his fear, and yet the Lord will be able to look at Peter even after his denials, even before his denials, and during his denials, with unconditional love, acceptance, and compassion. And so today, we need to ask ourselves, each of us, about our response to this Jesus who will soon go to his cross. Have I, like Judas, betrayed the Lord often? Have I, like Peter, denied the Lord? Have I, like the other 10, run away from the Lord? Or is my response quite another? If so, what is the response I will make?